I think this is the most important thing that leaders of creatives could do, and that's protecting the new. As Anton in Ratatouille says, the new needs friends. We opened our first taproom location in late 2015, pretty much, I think it was December 18th. And then you had like a little bit of a Christmas season, and then we were in January, the worst beer sales month and the worst hospitality month of the year. And we needed to fill it. Nobody knew who we were. And so I asked my co-founders if I could take this idea that I saw in Seattle called silent reading, in which it's 2 hours of no talking, no phones, just quiet reading and drinking. A pretty counterintuitive idea for a market known for the Rankin family and for the lower deck. But with one Facebook post, we filled the tap room to capacity within 72 hours. It was a smash hit out the gate. For years after this, I did more interviews about this event than anything in the company's history. Okay, so this idea was really great at the time, but like all good ideas, it kind of fizzled and died and got a little uninteresting over time. So when our new events coordinator this year proposed the idea of an adult scholastic book fair, my immediate gut reaction was, well, we tried books and booze, and it's not really all that good. We were coming back from the beach in August, and we drove past Good Robot where they were doing the event, and there was a line of people down the block on a 30-degree day, on a Sunday, no less, trying to get into this dank pub to buy books. Supporting the new is super critical. My gut feeling was wrong. My idea that no longer works is 8 years old. Last year, I took some stress leave from my company. During that time, I read this great book called From Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks. It's basically about aging gracefully by leveraging different types of intelligence. One of those types of intelligence is liquid intelligence. Liquid intelligence is right in your prefrontal lobe, problem solving, creating, thinking on your feet. It's what leads to a lot of novel discoveries and insights. It's also something that starts degrading as early as your young 30s, which is sad. The good news is that there's this other type of intelligence called crystallized intelligence, which is stored memories and experiences. That part of your brain gets developed well into your 70s. And so the thesis of this book was essentially age gracefully by letting go of tasks that involve using your liquid intelligence and start using your crystallized intelligence to move from creating and conceptualizing to mentoring and advising and teaching and coaching. And Darwin and Bach, two famous creators, Darwin was quite unhappy in his old age. He was constantly chasing it, constantly looking for one more evolutionary theory like the ones he had discovered in his youth. And his journals kind of indicated he was quite miserable, sadly. Whereas Johann went from creating compositions to directing a musical institute and advising and mentoring and coaching young composers to create. So, going back to our angry AI business leader, I don't think there's an answer to my original question. I think it's complex. I think it's a lot of variables. But one thing I do know is at some point, you can become the barrier to creativity in your own team. And certainly this is what I experienced in 2022, when I found myself controlling a lot of the conversation, when I found myself losing my temper over little things. I started to realize I was impeding this team's growth. I was impeding creativity. And so sometimes removing yourself is one of the best things you can do to foster creativity.